Alright, so I'm surprised no one's done this yet or posted anywhere about this, but there's definitely an essay inside that Division book. There is stuff to be read. It's not all just warm-upsome. So I've taken the images, I've sharpened them, and I'm going to be giving all of you guys a read-through of what this amazing Division book lore has to offer. Alright, let's get into it. A new symbol. At the beginning of the story, there are two symbols, addition and subtraction. For the longest time, that's the only thing numbers knew. I'm not exactly sure how the numeral species took so long to discover anything outside those two symbols. Maybe they were just content with what they had discovered already, or maybe they were just stupid. Anyways, back to the story at hand. Actually, no. We need to go a bit deeper here. I think first graders learn about multiplication and division. How are they just unable to figure this out? It's really not that hard, if I'm just being honest here. Why should anyone be interested in this tale when it's predicated such an unbelievable premise? An entire population of sentient, powerful beings and not a single one of them could come up with an array? They're literally numbers for crying out loud. I just feel like they could have figured this out earlier, I guess. Whatever. Quick recap. The numbers only knew about addition and subtraction for a long while. They had a lot of fun adding into each other and all that. They really liked it. Multiplication, which is really just doing addition multiple times in a row. Think about it. 4 multiplied by 3 is just adding 4 together 3 times. Isn't that cool? Was discovered shortly after. There were some problems with it, and there were still some problems with it. A lot of numbers don't really mess with multiplication anymore. Every simple time they try to, something ends up going wrong. It's not fun. Addition is fun though. Well, I find it quite boring, but they find it fun. Division, however, stayed the mystery for the longest time, which it bears repeating. It is absolutely unbelievable. Division is literally just opposite multiplication. Remember when I said multiplication is just addition multiple times in a row? Well, division is just subtraction multiple times in a row. Again, shocking that took them so long to figure this out. I can imagine the moment now. A lot of the time, the stupid people among us, souls, tend to have best ideas. A lot of great ideas are unsaid just because they sound stupid. Like, imagine being all smart and educated in the 1500s and suggesting the idea of electricity. Oh wow, magic beams from the sky can power gigantic and complex machines? Get out of here. Man, but that's actually how it works. So, I don't really know what happened, but you can probably guess that some stupid 9 or 7 brought up the idea of reverse multiplication. I'm not sure. Maybe those two weren't even alive. I'm not exactly sure why I was the one chosen to pen this history into the annals of time. I really do not know a single thing about what actually happened. Anyway, let's just say the numbers were just sitting around having a lot of fun playing on the seesaw. 9 walks in after a visit to the local multiplication symbol. She has a weird thought in her head, then she confidently brings up the idea of division. She's laughed at and made to feel very, very dumb. Little did they all know, however, that the idea of division is very, very real. It's just been forgotten about. More on this later. The power. The division symbol is theorized to be extremely powerful, giving its leftward user the power to split themselves into multiple parts. The amount of parts the leftward number splits into is equivalent to the value of the rightward number in the equation. The graphic below displays the basic capabilities of the division symbol. It too, being 4 multiplied by 4, can get divided by 4 into 4 4s. These 4s are all 16, just split up between 4 different bodies. They can all act like 16 and share 16's colors. This is because 4 4s are 16. 16 has dissipated due to splitting themselves into quarters. Ultimately, 16 is splitting themselves up. Imagine if you were split into 4 identical bodies. That's what ended up happening to 16. Only the graphic, of course. 16 is kind of scary cat, so I don't think they'd be that team to split themselves up like this, which is frankly weird to me. I think of it the same way I think of people who chicken out of riding roller coasters. Like, you stand in line for an hour and a half and watch thousands of people stream in and out of the coaster. Not a single person dies. When's the last time you ever saw someone fly out of the roller coaster seat? It doesn't happen. So what is there to be scared of? Do you think you're special or something? You're not. You'll survive. Roller coasters are fun. Why are you robbing yourself of the experience? Sorry about that rant. This book wasn't really the place for it. I think I could just delete it, but I really don't feel like it. I just got commissioned to write like at least 200 pages of this thing, and I'm kinda already running out of ideas. You saw it yourself. A couple dozen pages ago, I went to a 2-page lecture about the history of devilled eggs. I literally just copied that from Wikipedia. I'm starting to think I'm not being paid for my writing ability, but just because someone was too lazy to do what I'm doing right now. Insane. This thing should be like a pamphlet at most. Whatever. I should probably get back to the topic at hand. The division symbol is very powerful because it allows the user to split themselves up. This is beneficial for manual labor and especially fighting. Imagine how much you could get done in a day if there was a clone of you around. That's like a basic sitcom plotline. It's relatable. Numbers are lucky they get to live in a reality where this is possible. You need to lift up a really heavy, wide object to divide yourself in two. Of course you'd have to find two in order to divide yourself by them, but that's really only the downside of the symbol. A lot of the smaller numbers don't like being used for division. They have their own lives, but yeah, division is very, 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 very powerful. Anyways, moving on to the loss. Those who ruled the numeric realm at the time are not pleased with the existence of the division symbol. You know how people say when you're alone you're weak, and when you're united you stand? Well, yeah. Extrapolate that concept to this. Do you think those who enjoy power over a population of powerful numbers like the idea from splitting themselves into a million little equally powerful pieces? No! So those in power really did not like the division symbol at all. Like, they really, really did not like it. Like, when you walk by a group in public and they start reciting jokes you swear you saw online 6 years ago to each other, like, are you that unoriginal? You think you could just impress your friends by stealing other people's jokes? They aren't even good of jokes. It's just so sad, honestly. Just show them the joke on your phone or something like that. It really just grinds my gears, honestly. So I can't really imagine how it feels to be whoever ruled the land if the numbers fell. I don't really think it was justified. In fact, it was kind of evil, honestly. But, like, if I happened to have a domination over those idiots, yeah, I'd probably want to get rid of the self-destruct button they randomly found and learn to use. Especially if there are 2 other self-destruct buttons out there for them to use. I say 2 because distraction is kind of useless, like, it doesn't really help anyone. Multiplication and addition are pretty cool though. So yeah, one night the numbers were having fun, partying, and just generally enjoying themselves, as the numbers are known to do. They generally like to hang out around the division symbol, actually. They really liked it. It was probably one of their favorite things in the world, of course. Everyone had their own personal favorite thing. 9's favorite thing was his sunglasses. His old ones, the real retro ones. They had a rainbow gradient instead of a desert gradient. Doesn't that sound cool? Meh, I don't need your approval anyway. Who cares? 8's favorite thing is when all the other numbers were quiet. What a weirdo. So the numbers partied all night, sang songs and danced around, blah blah blah. At the end of the night, the last number finally decided to go to bed. Numbers sleep, by the way. I don't think they really need to. I'll be honest. I know almost nothing about these things. They're kinda useless. They're also fucking annoying. While they were asleep, however, the evil ruler of the realm took the division symbol and removed it from the place. It's a very pretty heavy symbol, so I'm kind of amazed that a group of people were just able to pick it up like that. As you'll see later, 2 is also just able to pick it up on their own. Is that insane? Like, 2, let me know your workout regime or something. I could use a tip or 2. Two. Okay, back on track for the moment. BFDI Season 1 is the best season. Like, by a mile. It's just so whimsical and fun and awesome. My favorite season is Episode 6, The Power of 3. What's up with 3 anyway? Why aren't they in many of these things? We're all thinking it, right? This is me. Well, for real, this time, let's get back on track. The numbers woke up the next morning to find the precious division symbol gone. All that remained was a discolored patch of grass that laid under the symbol for so many years. The numbers were shocked and horrified by the division symbol being taken. 9 cried for like 3 days straight, I think. It would have been cute if it wasn't so pathetic. Like, you're an adult, man. Either way, it was still a tragedy, though. The symbol meant a lot to these freaks. And now it was gone. The fun was over. They got over it quite quickly, though. Like, I'm not kidding. They all forgot about it the literal next day. It was like it never existed. Isn't that just crazy? These things are so weird, man. Like, gosh, just crazy. Anyways, here we have a map of the leading spots where experts think the division symbol might be hidden. It's not clear why they think these spots have the most potential, but they are the experts, so listen to them. Also look, map! Go obsess over what this map means or something. If that's all you're interested in, go wild. Moving on. The search. Why am I still writing this? How many pages are even left? Blah 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 blah. The typography on those blahs is really ugly, so I'm going to stop using them to fill space. The numbers embarked on an epic search for the division symbol, but were a little too stupid to end up finding it. Who would have guessed? This is partly why I said they just forgot about earlier. They tried searching for it, got lost, and instantly gave up. What losers! Can't even commit to the simplest of tasks. If I remember correctly, 7, the genius he is, started climbing a tree to get a good vantage point. The only problem with that idea, though, was that tree had like 8 different hornet nests on them. He turned as red as 3, because of the stings, of course. He was pretty embarrassed too, though. He tried really hard to play it off, making excuses. He said something about how the redness came from getting a sunburn, which, like, isn't that much less embarrassing than getting stung by thousands of hornets? Imagine the potential you feel whenever you see someone walking around with an ugly full-body sunburn. Like, what an idiot. You couldn't take the basic precautions to avoid this? You couldn't have put the 10 minutes of work it would take you to drive to a local pharmacy and buy a can of sunscreen? It's so easy, and yet, here this dope is, fully sunburned. Whatever, I went on a tangent again. What do you think the person who commissioned me to write this is going to think when they check my work? Do you think they'll even read it over? My guess is that they'll just see a lot of words and instantly give it their seal of approval. If you're reading this, that is exactly what happened. There is almost 0 to be actually gained from reading this book. I've gone on the same charade about how little I care, like 50 times now. In fact, all of this is just copied and pasted from the 10 pages earlier. That last sentence was too. I've reused the same passage 3 times now, and I'm gonna do it again. I'm that out of ideas. Anyways, the numbers stopped searching pretty much immediately. I think 8 maybe looked for a day or 2 more, but he eventually gave up too. He used to do this thing where he'd split up into 4 different grade 2s. It was a little weird, but some people just seemed to like it. I just made all of that up. Last paragraph on this page. Better make it count. La la la, la 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 la. Yeah, I can't make this one count. There's really nothing to talk about with the search. There's literally, basically, wasn't one. There's no way anyone's reading this far down. Whatever. Bye.